Alrighty, gang, we are back with Crash of the Titans. This time it's a battle of the invaders, or the defenders, or what, whatever you want to call them. It's a 1940s era team. Them, Captain America, Bucky, Toro, Jim Hammond, Human Torch, whatever you want to call them. So we're gonna be using the original Human Torch against Namor. Talk about Namor's powers. Talk about the Human Torch's abilities, and go from there. All right. So Namor is a black, green, and purple user, as we can see here. And since I actually have the Marvel Puzzle Quest wiki out, I'm able to give you Namor's powers offhand without trying to rely on them, you know, from memory, because sometimes I forget what powers do what. So Namor's Mercy is his black ability, cost 11. He deals damage, he destroys AP and the enemy's strongest color, and then we gain black AP. So at level 5, it's gonna do a little bit of damage, but it's gonna also destroy 4 black AP. And so our strongest color, I think, with Human Torch, I think that's yellow if I'm not mistaken. But like I said, we'll double check and see. Imperatus Rex, which I'm not going to yell out, costs 12. It destroys a random set of tiles in the shape of a Neptune trident. Destroyed tiles don't generate AP, but it does damage based on the number of blue tiles that's on the board. Alright. So if you have 12 blue tiles on the board, whatever the listed damage is, it'll do that there. Uh, thank goodness this isn't a team attack, but whatever. Now his team attack is his purple ability, Atlantis Attacks. So it costs 9. It converts some number of basic tiles to blue, and if there are 10 or more blue tiles after everything is settled down, then you deal damage to the enemy team. Alright. As Namor, his affiliations according to the wiki and to the game are heroes, and just heroes. Alright, Human Torch is Jim Hammond. Okay, strongest color is red. So he obviously is a green, red, and yellow user. Not in that particular order, of course, but his red ability costs 8, and it destroys all repeater tiles on the board and does damage accordingly. Now, I'm gonna go onto the all friendly repeater tiles deals damage to the enemy team, and then the damage is increased for each repeater tile destroyed. So one of his abilities prevents the destruction of repeater tiles, but if you're just doing it as is, yeah, it's a pretty useful ability. His cheapest ability, Wildfire, costs 6. This creates a green repeater tile that at the start of each turn it does damage, and then it replicates itself on another green repeater tile, and you have a max of 4, and like I said, it'll do damage up to the number of repeater tiles on the board. So if you got the max of 4 repeater tiles on the board, it'll do whatever the listed damage is times 4. So it can get pretty, not brutal quickly, but it can get to be pretty sideways. And then finally, his passive ability, burning persistence. Whenever an ally fires a power, you fortify 2 repeater tiles and then you create a strength tile. Well, since we're not going to be having any allies, it'll be best if I put this here at 5. Since again, like I said, no allies, maximize as much damage as you can, and then go from there. His affiliations, according to the wiki, should be Heroes, Shield, and Avengers, which it is. For lesser equipped Human Torches, what you want to do is you want to maximize green. So you're going to be denying green for Namor. You definitely want to deny black and purple if you can. So the cascades don't get out of control. But once you get enough repeater tiles on the board with his green ability doing enough damage, then it's a game of, do I want to destroy the repeater tiles now with his red ability, or do I want to wait, let the damage build, and then fire off his red as a finishing blow. Alright, so from this point forward, there will be no commentary. And there we go. Because I didn't know if we had enough to survive Imperatus Rex. Even though he is at 240, I didn't want to take that risk. So there you go. There's a legendary token there. And we'll actually talk about Human Torch. But before I do that, I want to see who at least the next person is for the crash. And well, from one flaming entity to another flaming entity, Ghost Rider Johnny Blaze. Alright, so the original Human Torch, obviously his artwork is the same as the 3-star Vision. For those who don't know, the 3-star Vision actually was the original. Well, the original Human Torch's body was the design for the Vision. Well, I mean, they used the same structure and architecture. Again, Ultron, and I will say this much about Human Torch, Jim Hammond. Like in a boosted situation, pretty good. Again, not the levels of the top tier characters in the game, but what he can do with the with repeater tiles in terms of fortification, and of course the persistent damage that wildfire can do, especially if you got those tiles fortified. So like these two here are pretty much his calling call. Blaze without Blaze beyond control. You know, it's one of those abilities that you're like, okay, cool. I'll use it to end a fight. So you have that. Um, you obviously can't use Human Torch Johnny Blaze with Human Torch Jim Hammond because again they share the same name. Also too, like I said, if you want to, we'll show you the artwork for the Vision. Like I said, artwork is more or less the same. And then of course, if you want to look at Johnny Storm, well, his artwork is a little bit different than Jim Hammond, but again, it's you know the idea that they share the common name, and even with the 2-star Human Torch, you know. So there's your little factoid for today. There. Um, as far as people to pair Jim Hammond up with, anybody anybody that needs repeater tiles fortified whenever they fire off a power. So specifically 5-star Gambit, he wants his fortified tiles. I mean, he wants his repeater tile fortified, so there's an option there. Now, granted, you won't be able to use red with the 5-star Gambit because of his black abilities, negative ability where friendlies can't activate red or purple abilities while he's active. So you have that. Um, who else makes repeater tiles? Well, I wouldn't say Robbie Ray is Ghost Rider. I mean, you could with him, but his disappears almost every turn. Um, the 4-star Ghost Rider, now he makes repeater tiles with his red ability, but now you're competing with red, so you know that's that could be an option, but I wouldn't necessarily rely upon it. But I mean, you can pretty much use Jim Hammond standalone, and then power him up with with a Koye or even Apocalypse, and have fun that way. There's another way you can get your repeater tiles and strike tiles on the board, fortified and all that good stuff. Oh, two characters that I know that use repeater tiles pretty effectively. You can actually use him with a lizard, and you can use him with Monica Rambeau. Because again, lizard's not his endothermic, that's his green ability. His purple ability, where his repeater tiles creep up on the board, those are fortified, right? So if you use his ability, yeah, his purple R complex. So if you use R complex while they're fortified, and then you use Human Torch's ability, his red ability to destroy repeater tiles on the board, well, those repeater tiles will remain. You won't get the bonus damage, but you'll consistently have repeater tiles on the board to constantly burn off your red, and +2 it gives you strike tiles as well. As far as where you should run Jim Hammond, like as far as power levels go, um, 353, 355. I meant to say, because again, Blaze Beyond Control. I mean, again, while it's cool with the extra repeater tiles, destroyed, sometimes your repeater tiles are going to get fortified simply because of burning resistance, and +2, you get a relatively strong strike tile, and then wildfire, is gonna do more damage. You're gonna have more of these repeater tiles on the board, and so that damage over time will start to kick in. So that's gonna end this video here. Well, actually, before I end the video, I do want to talk about one other thing, and that is this store here, the Legerdemain store. And as you can see, I did spend a little bit of command points in this store here, probably about 600-700, somewhere along in there. Got a couple Kitty Prydes, got a couple of Doctor Stranges, but no Shang-Chi's. But this here's a pretty solid store, like especially if you're transitioning from 4-star land into 5-star land. Shang-Chi, good solid champion, good solid 5-star character to have. Kitty, again, you can use her with Polaris and Rocket and still, you know, have some depth in 5-star. Well, transitioning into 5-star land. Doctor Strange, not so much. Again, everybody knows about his 3-star version, how good he is. It's unfortunate though that the 5-star version, while he has similar abilities, he doesn't scale that well in 5-star land and in 5-star PvE because of the simple fact of the small amount of damage that he does compared to characters that were released after him and even before him, to make matters worse. And then of course with character rebalances, that lifts characters who were much maligned in the past. They're up higher levels due to mass damage and simple um, power adjustments for the sake of the game currently. So if you got any CP, use it for that store there. If not, wait until Crystal, the newest 5-star character, wait until she's released, and maybe see who a character is after her to maybe potentially go after. I mean, I know certainly with 165, I still have a ways to go, so just always keep your options open. So that's gonna end. Now this will end the video. Hopefully, this video helped you out in preparing for this crash here. And I will catch all of y'all in the next video. Again, be nice and kind to your fellow human being. Be excellent human beings just in general. And shalom.